Hey, with love and respect for all the 17 or 16 aspiring political leader wanting to be president for Mama Liberia, for the Republic of Liberia, for the people of Liberia, for the benefit of Liberia and Liberians as a whole. I congratulate you again on your determination. I, wish you well. However, I always want to keep coming back to post stuff concerning the election because, if everyone just sit, and continue to witness or just watch what you guys do to us as a people, to us as a country, to us as Liberian, only because of the political say-so or the political know-how, then, it becomes destructive. And so it continues on and on, and then history repeats itself every other 6 years or so. And every time we look back, we look at Liberia as another big village of a country. You understand? And with no disrespect, you cannot call yourself a qualified leader or someone who is determined to be a president or who has been a president, and you look back and see where Liberia is today, and you tell me you go to bed at night and sleep well. There are basic things that people need in a country, at least to be able to empower themselves, and Liberia doesn't even have it. We claim we do. One of those things like electricity. We have LEC, like we call it. But again, for 12 years, I'm not against the current government, okay? Because I'm not intended. I'm not with the government. I don't work with them to know what's going on in-house. But what I do know is the fact that there are tons of money that has been donated to Liberia, okay? And yet, there is nothing to show for those money. You understand the fact that if we have better healthcare system, or when we're using the Ebola donations to fight Ebola the way it should have been fought, I guarantee you, those people that lost their lives to the epidemic, I pretty much sure, I can almost swear that most of the people that died from the so-called Ebola never had Ebola. Because it was so dangerous to the extent that if you have malaria and you sweating and you have fever, you were classified as an Ebola patient. So you will be quarantined with Ebola infected people, and that alone was a death sentence. Okay. Now, education. Okay. You have budget. When you look at the budget that passes in the country every year, or whenever that passes the budget, compare going to other ministries and leader budget, and to what they are putting into the education sector of Liberia, it's nothing. And this is why you see everyone is only. It has gotten to the point that everyone in Liberia is only about themselves at this point. Because, it's like, why are you going, when people go to school to learn, and you're out of school, you can't even get a job. It's not because they don't want to employ you. It's because most of those employers does not even trust the education system, because they know it's zero to nothing. Okay? And don't get me wrong, there are people in Liberia who actually are very educated. Okay? They are so educated to the extent that even government officials are afraid of them, so they don't even want to put them in the right position to wish that they can defend. So what they do, they bring in family members. And this goes back to saying that Liberia politics is dangerous, because why? The politicians, after winning the election, they run the country like a family business. Okay? They run the country like a family business. It's like you're running a grocery store or a supermarket where you can put your cousin, nephew, uncle, sister, son, everyone in it. Because why? God knows why. Okay, now, a country where people would die. You got young boys, girls, women, fathers, mothers, children die in Liberia only because they show up at JFK or Redemption Hospital, and the first thing people are asking for is registration, is payment. You don't even know what happened to the person. You don't even understand what the sickness is or what the injury are or is. But the first thing that comes from the nurses or the doctor is that go make the payment and bring the receipt. I mean, you telling me someone is basically between life and death in a country, into a hospital, being in a government hospital, or being at JFK, or being in a Catholic hospital, whatever, wherever in Liberia, they would rather have that person die only because the family of that person themselves cannot afford the treatment that is so needed. Okay? I mean, what more should we do to prove to the politicians, to the government, you understand, or to the so-called, or to the incoming people that are running for this one single office? What more should we do to prove to them that, listen, it's about time that we get the change we so needed and demand? Okay? Sometimes you want something, you can preach it, you can say it, but sometimes it's always good to demand what you want. And the only chance we have to demand these things is the 2017 election this year. We can use our voice, we use our vote and stand up against politics. Because if we stand up against politics, our message will get heard. Our message and messages will get to where it's supposed to get to. And it's about time that we do that. Okay? Because I can assure you, man, I can guarantee you, you can be in the street from January to October, running around, screaming with different political flags, hoping that your party wins or hoping that this guy is the right person. But what we're forgetting to ask these people that we're running in the street for, okay, is, can you guys, please, the time you take to make your speech and this and badge other or political party or aspirants, take that time to tell us more about how we as a country benefit, how our healthcare system gets developed, how our education system gets developed, how that our children and the children after them will enjoy Liberia as Liberia should enjoy the natural resources. You mean to tell me you got golden valerian, you got metal steel, you got Metal, you got all these multi-billion-dollar companies in Liberia, okay? And yet, there is nothing to show for it. They even build roads. They claim to build roads. And the roads are all substandard. When there's rain, the water sits on the road. There's nowhere to go. Okay? And it's so funny. People will claim, well, we've done this, we've done that. I mean, come on. So you build roads, but you build roads without a drainage system. I mean, pretty much you just take mulch and just cover the what you call it? You cover the gravel and fool the people that you did roads. Because our people doesn't have someone who is willing to come and say, listen, let's unite against politics. Okay, you can unite against politics with your voice. We can unite with our voice. Our voice can be so strong to the extent that by the time they realize we will be taking back our country from politics or from politicians and giving Liberians and Liberia hope. Okay, I dare you, my people, I dare you as Liberians to dream bigger than what they want us to dream. It's about time that we have a dream that is so big that every morning we wake up, we say that politics cannot put this into reality. So let's do it together. We don't even have shelter in the country. And you got boys people live on the streets. You got people suffering so much to the extent that they rather commit crime. So the life of crime is becoming someone waking up and saying, I'm going to work. The life of crime in Liberia is so crazy that young guys are being referred to Don Bosco. The Don Bosco that I know growing up in Liberia was a different kind of Don Bosco. Was positive. Now today, when you are referred to as Don Bosco, it's a whole different thing. Let me use this as an example, okay? And because we're talking politics, we're talking love of country before oneself, you know, and above all, love of God. So Dubai is a country that everyone knows about, you know, these days. And I'm going to use Dubai as an example to make a point to us Liberian, as in knowing that we can do it. So let's go back. Look, on my last video addressing politicians, I remember saying that Liberia was founded in 1822 and the independence of 1847. Now, let's look at Dubai. Liberia has some of the most valuable natural resources in the world today. But let's fast forward. Look at Dubai. Dubai based all their wealth on oil, and today they don't even have that much oil. So now it's all about tourism. So in 1966, Dubai discovered oil, right? When the oil was discovered in 1966, Dubai automatically decided that, listen, we have to become the business central. We have to love our people. We have to do something in a way that our people can benefit. Okay, and see what they've done. See what they did. The Dubai that I knew when I first came here in 1999 in transit, going to the US for the second time, is a different Dubai today compared to when I came back after being a young adult. Came back to Dubai in 2006 on a visit. That was, what I would say, 6 years or so later. Dubai changed, and today we're talking about I say years later, and we're in 2017. See what Dubai have changed. See what Dubai has done for themselves and what they're continuing to do on development for a country that is just eight different emirates within the United Arab Emirates. Okay, so now you looked at that for a fact, right? And looked at this other view from now. Look at this other view. We are looking at a view of what is known today in the world to be the world's tallest building. Okay, the world tallest building. So you're looking at a building that is so tall that it becomes the monument of what Dubai stands for. Okay, look at this. Like, it's so beautiful, beauty at all level. Okay, and it's called what? The Burj Khalifa. Now, Dubai did not magically build this thing for $1 billion. Okay, Dubai did not go taking a loan from foreign government or begging for aid or begging for help or begging for services from different government. You understand? What they did, they used what God gave them and use it as a blessing that every one of their citizens profit from it. Okay, we're talking about a country that have less than 10 million people, less than 10 million of their natural born citizens, excluding the foreigners and everybody else, right? And you're looking at this, you're looking at beauty at every level. So it's not something to say, oh well, is Dubai and this and this. No. And again, my point that I'm trying to make here is very simple. Okay, if they can do it, I'm pretty sure Liberia, as we know it, okay, we have gold, we have diamond, we have, oil, we have rubber, we have timber, we have everything. You know, I had a comment on my other video. A guy said, well, you know, that's the whole Africa. You know, it's everywhere in Africa is done. So Liberia is no different. You know, listen, my brother. If every country in Europe or in the Middle East, okay, come out and say, well, Europe is corrupt and this and this and that and that, today you and I wouldn't be wanting to live in the West. You understand? But someone stood up. Someone decades ago, millenniums ago, stood up and said, we gotta make things right. And so, me as a Liberian, I for one, I'm standing up against politics. Yes, I'm asking you guys to join me. I'm asking you guys to unite with me. Because united against politics is only in the interest of Liberia and the people as a whole. Okay? So we don't need to always have politicians to be president. We need someone that is God-fearing, someone that has the country at heart, someone that has his or her people at heart, someone that will put Liberia before themselves, okay, with God above. So when you telling me that it's all over Africa, I just think that destructive in itself, because all you're doing is that you justifying that the poor people, you know, that are suffering like Liberia, that they deserve it. You know, and you know, and I keep saying this, you know, the sooner we Liberians understand and know that the election, that we control the election, that we determine who becomes the next leader, the better off we are. You cannot have a country that has so much wealth in resources, but have so much poverty in living conditions. Okay? How can you tell me you can look at in Liberia as a politician, okay? You pass a budget for millions of dollars, all right? And nothing is done. The only thing you see done with this money is every minister or every government official, his or her family are doing great, okay? They're driving big cars. Their girlfriend, their boyfriend is driving big car because why? It's government money. But then again, look back history. Okay, this is why every time a government regime is over in Liberia, you give them up to 2 years. Everyone from the previous government is broke. Okay, they are all broke because why? Now the curse from the poor follows them. So the money that they stole from the country, that suppresses the people just to enjoy themselves. It hits them back, and they lose all those money and everything they have, and the next thing they are all back on the same level, passing around. And the most terrible thing about it is that when you keep bringing people from America, you keep bringing people from, you know, Europe to run Liberia as Liberians, you should understand these people are only coming because it's an elephant meat. Okay, they look at Liberia as an elephant meat, and it's about time that we address facts. It's about time that we ask these people, that we hold them into account. You know, it's funny that I got information a couple of days ago said, you realize that President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf just gave her endorsement to George Weah and stuff like that. And I'm like, great for everyone involved. You understand? So it's not about giving you endorsement to whom or whom not. You know, anyone, you know, like I'm assuming we assume Liberia is a free country. So everyone is allowed to give their blessings or their endorsement or, you know, or to you know, to support whom they please. Alright? My thing here, I'm just trying to get the regular people, the people that know that the education level is little compared to what the politicians' family members and children are getting. Okay? They create all these fancy, so-called fancy schools in Liberia, okay, and send the children to it and pay monthly. I mean, I know politicians in Liberia, I know government officials in Liberia, that children, the family members go to school in Liberia, and they're paying per semester in Liberia between $5,000 and $10,000. Okay? I mean, you will see the regular people, children walking on the street. We don't even have transportation to even have to go. These children will walk for miles just to get to class, to have a little less compared to what these people have as what they refer to as education. And so when they can afford any longer, what happened? They decide to leave school as what it is and move on.
This is the view looking at Dubai in the night from the 55th floor. As you can see, this is what it looks like at night. And this is what we're talking about, some of the beauty, the investment and the resources have done for this country, or this city. So Dubai wealth is only on oil and tourism, and we Liberians have given our country to politicians to run it, and they're just taking us for a ride. So we have to find a good leader. We have to find a better leader. We have to find someone that will have Liberia at heart. We have to have someone that will love Liberia and provide jobs, education, better health care, better living condition. And the truth is, we have our natural resources to support that. So we can do that. God bless.